everybody and welcome to Frikanih Effects, where I'm gonna show you today how to make the Suicide Squad intro like the one that you just saw. I gotta say that this is probably the hardest tutorial that I've recorded so far because it takes a lot of time, and this tutorial I'm going to divide it in different parts because if not I will have a tutorial of 50 minutes or something like that. So from following this tutorial, you're gonna need Blender 3D, which is a free 3D software that if you don't have it, you can just head to blender.org, just there. And it's a really nice 3D software. You can make 3D images, animations, video games, you can make a lot of stuff, and it's 100% free. It has a lot of really awesome features. We're going to be using it, so you can download it from here. And in case you are new to this software, I do highly recommend you to look for some basics tutorials before following this one, because I can explain everything that I'm going to be doing. So then obviously you're going to need After Effects for making all the glowing and the background stuff. You're gonna need some reference images that will be nice, and also some grunge and decals textures. I'm going to show you how to get everything. So okay, we can head to Blender 3D. This is a pretty different 3D software in comparison to some other 3D softwares like 3ds Max, the Cinema 4K. Well, you rotate the screen like this with the middle button with the wheel. So I'm going to delete everything. As I said, please check some basics tutorials of Blender so that you can more efficiently follow everything that I'm gonna be saying. If there are times like now that I keep like a little bit silent, like thinking of what I'm saying, it's because I'm Spanish, in case you're new to the channel. So English is not my mother tongue, but I promise I'm gonna do my best to keep the tutorial fluent. So we're going to head to YouTube first of all, because there's something that I want to show you, that is Suicide Squad VFX. There is this video that I saw that I really like because it shows you basically the VFX of the film, and I got the inspiration from this video here, from this thing that you can see just over here. So we're gonna be using this as a reference. This is the reference image. And okay, we can start by making the text. We can press space and write add text. I'm gonna be making the same logo that I made, so I'm gonna write thunder, duplicate layer, and zebra, something like that. Now Blender doesn't have any kind of fonts, only those who you have in the computer, but it doesn't use the fonts that you already have installed in the computer. You have to come here to the fonts options, go here to regular and open a new one, but just open it. You cannot select the ones that you have already installed. If you don't have any kind of font downloaded, I do highly recommend you a place called dafont.com. I don't know if you know it. I really like it, and it has a lot of different fonts, and you're probably gonna like it. For this tutorial, I highly recommend you that you take fonts like this one that are like filled and doesn't have details, like this one for example, because then when you're making your text, these white details that you can see over here are gonna be shown in the 3D layer as a whole. All of these are gonna be holes. You probably don't want that. Alright, so I have already here my two fonts that I've chosen for this logo, Astera and Kill the Noise. There are some really nice logos. The only thing that I ask you for is that, you can just follow as I'm gonna be doing for, learning and how to do everything and so, but just please don't copy my logo, okay? So okay, we can head to Blender and we're going to open our fonts. Can go here, Stera, no, not this one. Actually, it's kill the noise, the one on the top, and the one here, it's the Astera one. So I'm going to make it some adjustments, also this one, to make it look cooler. I'm gonna scale it up this one a little bit, and I think it's gonna look okay like that. Now we want to make this text 3D because now it's a completely plain text. So for that we have to head here in the font options and click here on extrude. I think 0.1 will make it. 0.1. I'm gonna also, the one on the top, Thunder, I'm going to put it a little bit more up, like here, so that there's that kind of, I don't know, depth, you know, so that doesn't look like this. Now we want to give some textures to this font, and for making so we're going to hold Alt and press Z. You will see that nothing happens because we don't have any texture right now on the object. So you would like to press N, this menu will appear, and you want to go down to the shading menu and go to GLSL. Everything will turn dark, will turn black, I mean, because well, if you did as I did, that I deleted everything. So we're going to add a lamp just to have some lighting, to put it like that. And also I'm going to put the energy a little bit down, that 3 maybe. So okay, we can give some textures to it. I'm going to head to Google and we're going to go to look for a seamless iron texture. So you can see over here that there are lots of real nice textures, and I think I'm gonna be taking, maybe this one looks okay, so we'll save this. Tutorials, and use its squad logo, iron texture. Now we will head to our materials options over there, and we will make a new material. We will call this iron. We will head to the textures, call it iron, and open a new image. So we will have to look for the folder where we saved our texture. Tutorials is this good logo here. Open image, and nothing will happen, like it just will turn like a little bit dark like this, because it has the texture, but we haven't told the program how we want the texture to be shown. So the first thing that we want to do is turn this text, convert it into a mesh. So for making so, we will hold Alt and press C and click on Mesh from Curve Metasurf Text. Now if we press the Tab key, we will see that we created the text, we turned it into a mesh. We want to do just the same with this one, Alt C, and we created it into mesh. Now we want to head here into the, where is it here? UV Image Editor, over there. And we want to press U, making sure that you are in edit mode, press Tab, and go to Smart UV Project. Click OK. And now we will see that we already have some texture on it, but it looks like the texture is too close, it's too big. So for making that, we'll select everything by pressing A and press S to scale it up a little bit. Looks better. I'm going to scale it up just a little bit more. I think it looks nice like this. And we're going to change also a little bit the material. So first of all, we're going to head down to geometry, and we're going to click here normal to make it a normal map. but we're gonna put a low value like .1. I think looks nice like that. We're gonna head again to our materials menu, and we wanna get intensity a little bit up, and also the hardness, not too much. Maybe the intensity a little bit down, something like that, so that it looks like that kind of iron. Now, if from time to time you want to see how the final result is looking, you want to have a camera so that you can render the whole thing. So we will press space and add camera, hold Alt and press G, I mean, to reset the position, and also hold Alt and press R to clean also to reset the rotation. When I put this up, press 0 to get the camera view. I think it looks nice over there. And also we wanna make sure that when we are rendering, when we see the render, it's going to be full screen. I mean, I personally like to have it full screen instead of having here in the image editor. So we're going to head to the render menu, and we're gonna click here and select full screen. Make sure that from time to time you press Ctrl S and you save your, the project, because many times if you don't have the best computer, it can give you an error and everything will screw up. So from time to time press Ctrl S. I'm gonna call this logo, so that you can have everything under control. So we're going to press F12 to render. And we can see here that it looks nice, but it has maybe too much, it's too bright. So I'm going to pull down a little bit even more the intensity, pull up the hardness, F12, looks a little bit better like that. Maybe a little bit more of normals, that too. Okay, and now we want to give exactly the same material to the zebra word. So we go to the materials option, come over here and select the iron material that we already have. And we have to do exactly the same. We have to unwrap it. I think it's called unwrap, to give it some texture. So we will select everything on edit mode, press U and Smart UV project. Okay. And we're going first of all to scale it up a little bit. Maybe more. And okay, it looks pretty nice like this already. I like always to have a transparent background, so I'm gonna head to the render options, and I'm going to go here to shading, to the shading menu, and the alpha from sky, change it to transparent. So from now on, you will have this alpha background, which I don't know, I always like to have it like that. And we're also to add some ambient occlusion to the text, so that we can have some automatic shading so that it doesn't look this flat. So we're gonna head here to the world menu. We wanna click on ambient occlusion and change it from add to multiply. Now when we press F12, we can see that it has already this shading that looks really nice. Now we already have some nice texture text and everything, and we wanna give it now some, I don't know how to say it, to make it look worse. Because if you can see here, it isn't a perfect iron texture. It has these decals over here, and I do highly recommend this webpage called textures.com, because it has a lot of textures that are really awesome. And the cool thing from this page is that when you log in, you have these 15 free credits that reset every day. So you can download up to 15 images, different images per day, which maybe some say, oh, that's not enough, but I don't know. I think it's cool. The main reason why I always get into this webpage is because of this folder called decals, that has some already pre-keyed textures that are just awesome. I really love them. So we're gonna head to the leaking one, maybe this dark one, and we're gonna look for a nice texture that could fit our text. So we don't want to have some that is like really large like this. Maybe someone like this, something like this. So we're going to download it. Make sure that you have already an account on the web page. If not, you can't download. So I'm going to save it. Decals 1, and we're gonna head into Blender. Now I'm going to give the texture to the R, to this R. So we're gonna go into edit mode. I'm going to deselect everything, and I'm going to press C to make this circle, and I'm going to select the top part. I'm going to select the faces like that, a little bit closer so that select everything over here also. And make sure that you select only the part on the top and not everything. And for making sure of that, you have to press this button. If you have it disabled, you will also select the faces that are at the background. But if you put it like this, you will select only the thing that you can actually see. Now we're going to duplicate it by holding Shift and pressing D, and then we will have a copy of this. And wanna press P to separate, and we're gonna call it by selection. We're going to select it to separate it by selection. Now we're going to press G and now press Z to move it only on the Z axis, to put it a little bit on top of our text, just like this. And now we want to give it the texture of the decal that we just downloaded. So we're going to head to our materials menu. We're going to delete it. We're going to add a new. We're going to call this decals 1. Also the texture decals 1. We're going to open it. And we have to now have the top view. Press U and unwrap it from the project from view, so that we can have the top view of this. And now we can have full control of the texture like this. I think it looks nice like that. Yeah, I like it like that. And now we wanna get our alpha background. We wanna delete this semi-white material that we have. For making that, we have to go here down and here check alpha. Yeah, just check alpha like that. Go to the material section. Make sure that you click in transparency, and you wanna put the alpha down so that it has the transparency. But if you wanna also to make that this lighting that you can see over here to be affected only in the actual material and not also in the alpha, you have to also put the specular down to 0. And now this light will only affect to the texture. So we're going to edit it a little bit. Hardness up, intensity maybe down to 0, and we're going to also put it a little bit of normal map .1, and it has already some decals like that. It looks like more rustic, it looks like bad. Now we want to add some more decals also to this A. So we're going to look for another one that doesn't look like extremely bad. Maybe this, I'm not sure. Maybe this one that is small. Yeah, we're going to download that one. Decals 2, and we have to do exactly the same thing. We have to go on the top view, select all of the top surface, Shift D to duplicate it, P to separate by selection, put a little bit up, and now we have to delete the material. We're going to create a new one, decals 2, and decals 2. We open it, and we have to do exactly the same thing that we did before. Project from view, scale it up, and adjust it as you like. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. So normal map .1 alpha, and transparency alpha 0, specular 0. And I'm going to also hardness up, intensity down. Okay, so we can now, I'm going to save it. Now, if we if we press F12 to render the image, we can see that this happens, that it has what is supposed to be as alpha, it's black like this. Why does this happen? Because Blender knows that here is an alpha transparent background, but it still takes this as an actual shape, as an actual plane. So when we can see here this black thing, we're actually seeing the shadow that this object emits. So we don't want any of these two objects to display a shadow. So we're going to fix that by going to the shading menu, which I can find right now. Okay, after half an hour I found it, it's here. And we wanna disable cast and cast buffer shadow. I'm gonna do exactly the same thing with this one. And now when we press F12 and we pre-render it, we can see that we have already these decals over here that it's making our image look bad and so. And maybe I think that actually it has too much. Yeah, maybe it's too bright. I'm going to put intensity all the way down. Just keep it a little very less. Put the hardness up. Yeah, it looks so much better like this. I'm going to also give some decals to this part of here. So I'm going to look for one last decals texture. One that doesn't look too bad. Something like this, but we're going to take only this part of here. So we're going to download it, decals 3, and I'm going to select both the T. Going to, if you wanna in some part of your project make something invisible, like this camera for example, that I don't know, it's here and I don't want it there, just press H. And you didn't delete it, you just make it invisible. If you want to make visible again everything that you hide, hold Alt and press H. But I'm going to hide it by now. I'm going to select all of this. Oops. Here the H. Over here also. Doesn't have to be perfect, you know, but I always want to catch all the different details. Alright, Shift D, P, selection, put it a little bit up, delete this material, and finally decals 3. Decals 3. And we're going to open our last decals text here. Open image and project from view. Now I'm going to take the actual image, decals 3, to have it, to know what am I making. I'm going to put it something like over there because I just want this to be a little bit like this, you know, not too much. So maybe like that will be okay. We can do exactly the same thing as before. Normal .1 alpha. and transparency alpha 0, specular 0, cast, and cast shadow buffers. Okay, intensity down, hardness up. Alright, maybe you cannot see it very properly, but we already have some, nice decals, because that is how we can see it works on here. And I think it's okay by now. We already made our logo. We created some textures so that it doesn't look perfect. And I think we're going to stop it by now, by here. And in the next part of this tutorial, I will be showing you how to create the lighting that you can see over here, how to create this neon effect and everything. And okay, I hope that you enjoyed by now. I hope that you continue to follow this series of how to make the Suicide Squad intro. If there's anything else in which I could help you that you would like to know, just let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you in my next tutorial. So, see ya!